Have you ever noticed that the more you think deeply, the harder it becomes to truly connect with others? It's almost as if the search for understanding builds invisible walls around you. The deeper your thoughts, the fewer people seem willing to follow. This isn't just imagination. History shows us a repeating pattern. Society often resists its deepest thinkers, not because they are wrong, but because they dare to see what others refuse to. From Socrates, accused of corrupting the youth, to Galileo, silenced for challenging the church, to visionaries like Nikola Tesla, dismissed in their lifetimes, brilliant minds have rarely been celebrated while alive. Their ideas didn't lack truth. They simply made people uncomfortable. But why does this happen? Why does society so often reject the thinkers who see beyond the surface? Psychologists offer a clue with something called the mirror effect. A deep thinker doesn't just present ideas. They reflect back the limits of those around them, and that reflection can feel threatening. Think about it. If you stand beside someone stronger, you may admire them. If you meet someone wealthier, you might envy them. But when you encounter someone who thinks on a level you cannot reach, the reaction is different. It doesn't just spark admiration, it stirs discomfort, because intelligence touches the very core of who we believe we are. Our thoughts, beliefs, and worldview make up our identity. And when someone challenges those foundations, it can feel less like curiosity and more like an attack. This is why deep thinkers often find themselves isolated, not because they want to be alone, but because their presence unintentionally threatens the comfort of others. In fact, studies suggest that people value confidence over intelligence in social situations. We're drawn to those who project certainty, even if their ideas are shallow. That's why smooth-talking leaders and charismatic influencers often gain more followers than quiet, careful thinkers who speak with nuance. It's easier to follow someone who tells us what we want to hear than to listen to someone who asks us to question everything. And yet, this rejection of intelligence is not just social, it is biological. Neuroscience reveals that when people feel intellectually inferior, the brain's amygdala, the fear center, becomes highly active. In other words, deep thinking can literally trigger the same alarm system as danger. Why? Because for most of human history, survival depended less on individual brilliance and more on group acceptance. To be excluded from the tribe was to risk death. Our brains evolved to prioritize belonging over truth. So when a thinker disrupts the group's harmony, even unintentionally, the reaction is often defense and rejection. The tribe protects itself not by engaging, but by excluding. This explains why private, one-on-one conversations often feel more rewarding to deep thinkers than group discussions. Alone, curiosity can thrive. In groups, status takes over. But philosophers have long warned that intelligence comes with a cost. Schopenhauer described it as both a gift and a burden. While most people chase comfort, pleasure, and routine, the deep thinker develops what he called the will to truth, a relentless drive to see reality as it is, even when it's painful. This creates a rift between the thinker and society. What most people find meaningful, small talk, entertainment, social games, can feel hollow to the one who seeks depth. They crave honesty where others prefer politeness. They question ambition where others see purpose. And they often discover that the clearer they see, the lonelier the world becomes. But here lies the paradox. While deep thinking can isolate us, it is also what moves humanity forward. Every leap in philosophy, science, and art began with someone who was willing to endure discomfort for the sake of truth. So if you feel the loneliness of deep thought, remember, it is not a weakness, but a sign of vision. Society may resist, but history belongs to those who dare to see differently.